FTroop.tv.
Good morning and welcome to day 3 of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships, the pointy end of the championship. We have the quarterfinal today against VLS and FTroop. It'll be VLS's first appearance on the live stream today, so I'm joined by Ziteng Ho from VLS.
Yeah.
Welcome. You guys must be pretty pumped.
Yes, we're very excited to be in the quarters.
Yep. We've got game should be starting, but FTroop is still in their huddle. So while they are, tell us about your tournament. How's it been so far?
I think this has been a really good tournament for us so far. So we came top of our pool in the preliminary round, and then we were straight through the quarters. So that was very good for us.
Nice. And what are we going to see from your team?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you can see a lot of heart, grit, and determination, and just lots of layouts and Ds, and just 100% for the team.
Excellent. Well, good luck. All the best. Quarterfinal knockout time. After this, you're done. So
yeah. No. After this, we're going to the semis and then the finals.
Sure. Yeah, that's all right. Good point. All right. Well, best of luck. Have a good game. Catch you later.
Thank you.
All right, we're just about ready to get underway here. We now have FTroop on the field. They took their time. Maybe a little slow following Saturday night. But they're here. They're switched on. Pool goes up from Shep. And we're underway. Ben Matthews-Hunter looks early. Looks inside. A little bit of a straight up look. No. Moving into a one-way force. FTroop having to think this one through. Shep almost had a bid there. Elected not to. Home force. Dump goes up the line. He catches a little bit of air, but it's good enough. And the flick does not have enough on it. VLS get the turn. So, first turn of the game, and then there's another. VLS catch a break there. Sorry, FTroop catch a break there. There's Edie, receives it from Ben. Matthews-Hunter moves around. Now Sandstrom, about 7 metres out from the end zone, looks inside. Lovely little goal. Claire Bartram with the first goal, streaming open side. That's very nice. FTroop strike first after giving the disc away initially. VLS did get a quick turn, gave it straight back. See Abby Dawson through to Sandstrom. Takes his time. Open on the flick, lovely leading flick. And Claire Bartram. Make sure of it. VLS running line calls. They've called both their lines thus far. Quite a few on their team. One of the larger squads. They've got about 12 blokes and 10 ladies. VLS topping their pool. Did not have to play a pre-quarter to stay alive. I believe there was seeding as a seeding round between the teams that did really well, finished top of their pool. FTroop had quite a good tournament also. Been on the feed a couple of times, been able to see what they throw at us. Liz Eadie, Tom McCallum. Run of the show, nice first ball. Outside in, it's going to roll out the back. And almost through the club rooms. That's Josh Burns. Bringing it up. Jogging back, we love that. Giving the people what they want. VLS, early crowd favourite. Looks through, gets it at first pass. Off to Ross Smith. Smith back to Burns. And we have a call. Pick downfield. Nice grab from Ross Smith. Oh, was he in? He was in. We'll leave everything open, that's fine. So, turn. F-Troop now with a chance to get their first break. Tom McCallum, lefty. Looks inside flick, can't get it away, goes to McManus. McManus wants to run the ISO with him, but can't. Instead chooses to advance it. And it's Caitlin Grange with the disc, holds backhand, goes high release, flick upstairs, they get it. I think that's Suzuki. F-Troop get the jump on VLS. VLS not looking confident in their offense. They looked a little deep from the set, and then they had a pick call on them, so not really with a chance to adjust dynamically. They had to try and bring it in. So McManus wanted to get quick reset, moves it through to Grange. Grange, very nice, moves her mark, gets a little bit of bite. There you go, that opens up the flick. Bit of a high release on that flick. Suzuki enjoys it. So, F-Troop, get the jump, 2-0. VLS hailing out of New South Wales, out of Sydney. And F-Troop, as we mentioned earlier, one of the Canberra teams. Canberra with solid representation here, both Burleigh Griffins and F-Troop making it through to the power pool. Burleigh Griffins unfortunately had their run stopped at that point, but F-Troop still going strong and making a strong start to this game as well, 2-0. Pool goes up, it's a good one. Lands a little short, VLS with a chance. And they're going to look quickly to Shep, set play. Shep's trying to milk, does milk, gets it, gets the goal. With Ashley O'Sullivan throwing it to him. They wanted to steady up, very clearly a set play coming off the pool. Hey Mike, can I just get you on and off actually? Thanks. Alex Shepherd. Nice cross-field put. Shep, not sure whether the milk will go in or milk will go in, but saw he had enough separation on his defender to milk it. No mark to speak of, so could have gone either side. Saw Shep went to the left. He agreed. Honoured the cut. Very nice throw. F-Troop. Let VLS get their first score. Both teams clearing their lines. Martin Linus Forrest will take the pull. Wants to keep everyone back. Advisors on the spot. Anson will not take any garbage. You break that line, the cross goes up, his hands stay down. Well done, VLS. Matthews Hunter, that's Ben. I think that's Stenstrom there. It is. Here's Suzuki. Suzuki to Edie. Edie, Matthews Hunter. They look good. F-Troop, first put. Matthews Hunter over the top. He was looking for James O'Reilly, but O'Reilly was flat-footed by the time he threw it. So VLS are going to get a crack at a break now. And the first put goes out, and that's coming more to me than it is to the players. There's a greatest attempt though, but Hunter keeps the heads-up play. It was very nice by Linus. Stenstrom gets under the foot of his marker, goes to Edie. Edie winds up, goes to flick, instead opts for the backhand. Unfortunately, she can't connect with Abby Dawson, who gets the turn. Dying a little quick. Abby felt she had to take it high. Bounced out of her hand. And now outside in flick again with the camera. Oh! And we're going to hold play. Are we going to keep playing? So we're going to have a... No, we're not going to have a stoppage. I think we're going to have a stoppage now. So the question will be... I think what the question should be... Okay, so they're going to mark a stoppage just because Matthews Hunter went into the camera. It's out, right? All right. Okay. Put it on the line. So you'll see here, bang! Great camera work from Fausto. In the meantime, VLS have gone long. And Edie has got the D, stayed with the play. Went over Linus's head, and Edie, as he tried to go second bite, said nope. Sandstrom gets called on the travel, keeps playing, moves it out to O'Reilly. O'Reilly round backhand break to Edie. Edie, no mark on her, gets to Suzuki. Suzuki advances the flick. Oh, it wasn't meant for Matthews Hunter, but he got it. And then he goes and unloads a flick. She's got to work. Very nice work by Abby Dawson. Could not afford to break stride. Ben Matthews Hunter, nice heads-up play, saved the day. Caught a disc coming into the stack that wasn't meant for him. And then wheeled around, similar to Stenstrom did in the last FTroop game we watched. Got busy in the stack, kept the disc alive, and then looked for the deep strike. So FTroop go 3-1 up. So here's the turn from FTroop. Linus and Stenstrom, and then Linus goes again, but Edie with the heads-up play. And then the goal, Stenstrom to Dawson. So happy to report that both Fausto and his camera are alive despite Ben Matthews Hunter's best efforts. I'd like the record to note that Fausto was heroic in putting his body in front, in between Ben and the camera. That camera cost $6 grand. We're paying Fausto 3 cans of Coke.
Oh yeah, what? Here we go.
He knew what was what. All right, FTroop. We'll get another look at Fausto's heroics from the first-person view in a moment. In the meantime, VLS are going to take it. They'll tap the disc in about 5 from the end zone. Josh Burns holds, and we're having a look at FTroop's zone. They've come out and matched defense into a junk. Burns. It's Giordano Rock looking him off, then getting it to Alex Shepherd. Alex Shepherd, low-ish disc. Throw, now Burns has it. Burns holds, dishes back, and then it gets back to Alex Shepherd. Shepherd to Rock. Rock has a few looks, so they've managed to advance. Burns to Rock. Then it's brought over wide. O'Sullivan back to Burns. Burns, Sullivan. Sullivan rocking some fierce fluoro action, both upstairs and downstairs. Sullivan with the pink boots. And the green zinc to Giordano Rock. They hold the zone, FTroop. Rock. Burns. O'Sullivan to Alex Shepherd. Alex Shepherd holds, wants something overhead, changes his grip, and it looks like it may have gone. No, they've kept it. They haven't gone to match defense yet. They've kept the zone on. It's just getting a little loose. It's a little ragged. They want to just keep running him. Shepherd, he's going to hit Rock to reset the count. Doesn't do anything. Now he does something. Goes to scuba from Rock. That was interesting, but Shep gets the goal to Ashley O'Sullivan, and they like it. They storm the field. A lot of VLS units at this tournament, and a lot of them on the field. That said, FTroop keeping positive. So you see a lot of space for Shep, and he realised, and he copped a throw he probably didn't expect. But still, then lovely, converts the play, hits O'Sullivan. Didn't move straight away, Shep, but then saw he could. That's probably a backhand would do, but you know what? The fact that they had a bite, the defence had a bite at it, meant it opened up that wide throw from Shep to O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan shows it. Goes, look at this, it's a frisbee. You catch it in the box. If you do that more than the other team, you win a game. So, Fausto, heroics. Let's have a look. So it was a wide throw. Yeah, and Fausto absolutely putting his body right in the way. Oh, what a hero. Wanted nothing to do with it. Said, take the camera. Oh, that's not the way I remember it, Fausto. Oh, well, we could joke because both Ben Matthews-Hunter and Fausto are okay. But I think that's in every cutaway reel from here until the end of the day, Mike. Fausto just proper pooping the pants and saying, take the camera. All right, VLS with the pull. Inside out. Landing in. And Edie through to Sandstrom. It's a Horo play with a primary pair. The first of them is Shea. Back to Sandstrom now to Suzuki, midfield. They're poaching deep, which gives the unders to the likes of Dawson, who runs a give-go with Edie, gets it over to the far side. FTroop collapse into a vert now. They're still managing to get open side throws. Shea hits Edie across to Ben Matthews-Hunter, the camera killer. Stacks a little deep. They're all streaming under now, and VLS have adjusted, but Shea manages. No, doesn't get free. Ben goes up the line, but there was cutters in the way, so he couldn't get the throw from Edie. Sandstrom comes back, fills for the dump. Suzuki cutting really well, managing to get a lot of disc, and then looks for Edie. Edie can't get it. Stack's readjusted now. It's a bit more flow on the break side, which is what Sandstrom hits, but unfortunately Shea can't hold it. And VLS will have a crack. Early deep shot, not on it. Under is on it, but Suzuki gets in front. Outpaced her opponent. Managed to get around it. And Ben Matthews-Hunter has no dump. Doesn't find a dump. 2-3 run now. Sandstrom comes back into the dump position to help out. Goes with the flick to Suzuki, who grabs it. Excellent point by Maya Suzuki. Kept advancing the disc, working her opponent in the cutting set. Both when it was a Horo as well as when it collapsed in a vert. Did the hard things when she saw the stack was a little bit deep. Kept the count low for all the throwers, managing to, as we said, progress the disc. Gets the D. So this is the D here that we'll take a look at. Tight coverage, it was a tight throw. And Suzuki by that point was already in front. That said, fair play to the rest of the FTroop crew. And then we see Suzuki going break side on Stanstrom's cut. Credit to all the FTroop defenders in the stack, because that option, as you can see, probably wasn't fantastic, but there were two cuts before it that had been really well covered. One deep cut and one to the break side by VLS that FTroop had managed to shut down. So thrower not feeling like he had a lot of options. Didn't feel like engaging his dump. And as a result, 4-2. Got a hand from VLS. As FTroop prepare to pull. They have 8 on. Oh no, one's on the edge. Not sure who's pulling the disc. Oh, there it is. He's hiding it. 4-2. Confirmed score. And this pull will land out of bounds. First brick of the day. It was pulled. I think it was Bill Foreman, actually. Our hero from yesterday with a big bid. We'll take a look at if we get an opportunity in between points. Probably the bid of the tourney. Very last to watch. All right, O'Sullivan in with it. Moves it over to Rory Brennan. plays a point. Rory with the rock and the gloves, important in these wet conditions. Ashley O'Sullivan goes and gets it back. FTroop again looking at that junk. Carolyn Tamas. Manages to get the swing across. And that's Priscilla Scenario, I think. Moves it across to 88, which is Rob de Hollander. From up north, I think, is Rob. This is moved. Shep gets in, wears a little bit of attention, but he's all right. Swinging across to O'Sullivan. Sullivan back to the middle. To Rory Brennan. Well, Brennan, he wanted one through, and then he instead goes around with the flick to Shep. Shep elects not to go to Hollander. Instead to O'Sullivan. Sullivan moves it to Tamas. And then O'Sullivan, nice quick fire flick through the cup to Robert de Hollander. He's a big unit, Rob. Not sure if many people follow the truck hunting page on Facebook, but if you do, check it out. If you don't, check it out. You won't be long until we see Rob's name. So Ash, O'Sullivan, Tamas, easy, nice work, and then flick through. FTroop zone, stuck dishwashing a little bit. And Rob gives a little punch. Caroline. 27, is that actually 26? Huh?
Let's get it, VLS! Gotta make sure that here, Lloyd! Gotta get one!
So, Mike, are we able to take a look at our Mr. Foreman's heroics from the day before? See if we can get that at some point today. Worth looking at again and again. In the meantime, it's 4-3. FTroop maintain the lead. But you feel like VLS working their way through. They've had a lot of touches on the disc. FTroop been throwing 2 consecutive zone looks, staying away from any match defense. We'll get that right one day, I promise. But does give the opportunity for VLS to get a little bit more confidence in them. It does also stop that set play that they did get their first goal from. So excellent pull, and it's put Ben Matthews-Hunter in a position he gets out of. Edie in the dump position. And now there's a little bit of pressure starting to build. Ben can't get free, does now with the third jink, and brings it through, gets it to O'Reilly. O'Reilly, the under into Edie, and now there are players streaming deep. This, unfortunately the throw wasn't very good. It was Claire Barcham. I'm not sure if there was a touch on it, but it did sit right up. And despite Jamon Shea being free as a bird, they couldn't complete. So now VLS are going to get a crack here. And it's going to be Matt Visor, sorry. But outside, Emma Lothian, I think it is. It's Emma. She's got it. Gets a throw. I think it was Alex Casella on the wide flick. And I'm pretty sure it's Emma Lothian with the goal. It's hard to see down that end. But VLS get a break. They enjoy it. Early days, but a theme emerging. Casella loses his footing as he goes. And then Emma, 2 bites at it, but manages to make sure. The Barramundi from last year. Last year, yeah. Making sure. And we got a game. Back to 4-all. So we've been speaking about Bill Foreman a couple of times, and this is why. This was the first point of the game, FTroop versus Paradigm, and a huge bid. Got every bit of it, needed to. That set the tone for FTroop in that game. It robbed Paradigm a bit of confidence. Paradigm rolled over in that first half. I think the half was about 8-2, 8-3. They did come back later in the game, but that was obviously a huge boon for FTroop in the early parts of the game. Now we got, speaking of which, in terms of pressure, VLS are sprinting down. The reason they are is because the disc was touched coming out, and now we're going to call it travel because he didn't bring it back in where it rolled out. So not only are they taking it from the back of the end zone, but it's going to be set from the back of the end zone. Casella didn't want him to get away with anything, so Riley moves it up. It's Sandstrom. They're going to have to think their way through it. It's a junk look from VLS, and Edie back to Sandstrom. Wants to swing it wide, can't. Wants to go into Edie, but the wing collapses in. And now O'Reilly. Goes the hammer, needed to happen. Ben Matthews-Hunter gets it wide, goes to Dawson. Abby Dawson, lovely break, backhand. Suzuki ran onto it. I think O'Reilly was safe with it as well. And then looks around to Sandstrom. Sandstrom to Edie. Now they're out. Edie, Suzuki, she lets one go. She's let one go long. Shep's under it as the deep and gets it. Gets it over Shay Jamon. Nice work by Shep. We'll have another look. There's Rob Tehelander on the sideline, says eat it up like it's an NBA bench. Let's have a look. That was Casella, I think, trying to get back and stop it, but it went for 4. However, they got chopped out from A. Shep. Lovely leading throw to Casella. That's a huge up-the-line dump cut, about half the field. And now they're starting to move. Bruce Winchester with the disc. Looks, throws the backhand. Gets it to Shep. Shep, laser flick, and it's taken really well in the end zone. VLS now take the lead. There's been a shift. Real shift in the game. Disappointing for FTroop because they did the hard things. They were bringing that in from the back. As we look at A-Shep's first D, did well, got position. VLS have called a timeout. As I was saying, disappointing for FTroop. They did the hard thing. They were taking it from the back cone with the VLS defense set. Managed to work it really well with the likes of Dawson, Edie, O'Reilly, Hunter, Sandstrom. But unfortunately, Suzuki had a look at a deep option, which was Shay Jamon. And Alex Shepherd managed to get the better of him. So timeout on the field. I think a timeout's as good a time as any to look at watch Ben Matthews-Hunter, OLT TV, $3,000 if we can do that in a moment. Expensive tournament for Ben Matthews-Hunter, taken out of camera. Yep. So we'll take a look at it. It's on the near sideline. It was a flick, a huck that went up. And Ben tapping it, macking it back in. I mean, the amazing thing is he macked it back in. And we'll take a look at it a few times because to be fair to Ben, so this is the first person view. Just gets all of it. We were back, and before Ruben Berg starts on us, Ruben, we were 3 meters back from the end zone. So I don't want to hear any rubbish. But the interesting thing, to Ben's credit, he actually grabbed the camera to stop it from falling. So instead of owing $5,000, he only owes 2.5. But in terms of the context of the game, it was awful because all Ben had to do was let that disc go. It probably wasn't coming back in, but he macked it back into the play. Jack, he was out of bounds when he did that. Now, if that had been an offensive player, you're out of bounds when you touch it, so that's out of bounds. Does that stay in? Because no, he didn't. He'd run. He was running out. A D player's always in. There we go. I'm glad I surround myself with people that know what they're talking about. So apparently a D player is always in. So that's why it wouldn't have been out of bounds despite him making contact with the disc when he was out of bounds. I have no idea if that's true, but the important thing is Jack Lilwall said it with enough conviction to make it true, which is kind of what the rules of Frisbee are based on. And we also then had to deal with the guy being his opponent, who was on O, perhaps having his foot on the line. But there was so much chaos, no one really knew. In the meantime, we've come out of the timeout. Hunter hit O'Reilly, who's now hit Sandstrom. And there's a VLS zone, a 1-3-2-1 being played. Tomas is on the mark. And F-Troop going to be aggressive here. They move it over the top. That's to Dawson. Sandstrom now can hit Matthews Hunter. Matthews Hunter goes back inside. That's Abby Dawson. She goes upstairs. High release. Nicely done by James O'Reilly. There was a bid. I think a bit of a foul called. I think that was Ross Smith. Nothing malicious in it. Get taps back in. Tomas looking to cause trouble on the mark, but they managed to run away from her. Liz Eady moves it down. Gets it to Abby Dawson. Abby Dawson to Suzuki. That's a goal. F-Troop, exactly what the doctor ordered. Really patient, but brisk offense. Brings it to 5 apiece. O'Reilly through to Edie. Edie, quick fire to Dawson. He manages to cut through the cup before that had a chance to set. And Suzuki made good position. Playing a very strong game so far, Maya Suzuki. Around the grounds, the other quarter-final, Hello Newman and Frisky are 3 apiece. Hello Newman severely short-staffed. They're undermanned. They've had a couple of players injured, a couple of players rendered unavailable. So it will be a war of attrition there to see if they can hold on. Frisky, one of the tournament favourites. Safe to say upset of the tournament if they pull it off. So the pull from Bill Foreman, our main man. It's a lovely pull. This is much better than his first effort. O'Sullivan moves it. He hits Rory Brennan with the gloves. Back to O'Sullivan. So both teams throwing a junk look, despite there not being a whole bunch of wind. Giordana Rock, we've got Ting screaming for it on the outside. Doesn't get hit, but it does come over her side, and now she does get hit. Ting, who we interviewed at the start of the game, she's brought into it on the wing position, throws a nice backhand to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, with the bright-looking headgear and footwear, hits Rock, goes to A-Shep. Alex Shepherd brings it out, hits Martin Linus. Linus about at the brick mark just forward of it, and F-Troop have collapsed into a matched look. To O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan has Linus free. Didn't want him because Tom McCullum was on him, but Shepherd gets in there, and then Tom McCullum stayed in the poach and made some contact with Shep. As we've said, Tom McCullum upholds his status as the fairest person in Frisbee. Had come back in, but saw, clear contact with his arm there. We're just going to discuss whether it was a strip or a goal, I think, a strip or a foul. But nice bid from Tom. He covered the first cut from Linus, but then saw that Shepherd, one of the key receivers for VLS, was streaming open side. Decided to stay there. So as you can see, we're going to mark the goal. So uncontested strip. Pretty fair, hack of the arms. Nothing malicious in it. Tom McCullum just getting around being the unit he is. (6-5). VLS keep their noses in front, maintain the break. VLS electing to play 4 females. Sorry, F-Troop electing to play 4 females. Four apiece over at Newman versus Frisky. And Funsky Calf are 3-4. So, we got 3 good games. The 4th game is Meraki Monstars. It's 7-3, and we don't know which way. Ooh. All right, the pull goes up, And we're likely looking at a brick. We are.
Here we go, what?
Pardon me. Right, looks like a bit of a loose man, a poachy man. Both Tamas and De Hollander. De Hollander marks up now, but Tamas sits wide. They all lock down, and so it's a matched one-on-one look. Suzuki advances it to Abby Dawson. Abby Dawson wears a bit of contact on the first count. Play on. And can't compete. There was an aggressive mark on. Tries to get the around backhand, but it didn't have enough to sit up. And VLS have a chance to run the offense. They'll be running it through Kirsty Murray. Advances it up. Casella. Alex Casella looks to try and break. Can't do it. Rob De Hollander. As it goes the outside backhand. There's a bid by Casella, but it can't come off. He got a fingertip to it. Not enough. And FTroop going to get another crack. Ben Matthews-Hunter. Goes the under flick. Nice work by Shea. And then again by Dawson. Dawson free. Hits Barksham, who's also free. So working well. VLS have a chance to lock down their match defense now. But Dawson manages to keep advancing the disc, keeping the count going. Edie been getting a lot of disc. But it has all been down that sideline. And speaking of that sideline, we've got an injury on it. It looks like O'Reilly, I think. But it may have, I think he and De Hollander clipped feet, and it meant Riley lost his boot. Popped his boot back on. So we'll take another look. De Hollander. Riley, it may have been friendly fire. It was. I think it was Edie that clipped his boot. So FTroop trying to get it off the line. Edie can't get the dump off, so instead jacks the Hail Mary to Shea. Shea gets D'd by Casella, and we're going to have a chat. Shea with a good sit. Casella making the late play. Hanson Chun is the advisor on the spot if they choose to ask for his advice. So Shea, you can see with the Nick Rewalt style point, props himself, gets inside, and Casella with the D. Shea has acknowledged that it was a D, and we've got a turn. Yeah, probably fair enough. I think the right outcome there. I think it's close enough to warrant a chat. But ultimately, though, I don't think that was a foul, and ultimately the rest of the team agreed. Ultimately. Casella winds up, throws the backhand. It's going to be Kathy Yu. No, it's Rob De Hollander, the big truck we mentioned. He's now got it, throws the backhand. Tomas is going to run onto it. She gets it. It's a goal. Huge play. Casella to De Hollander. He's eating it up. He likes it. Big smile from the Dutchman. Rob De Hollander, of course, from a very rich pedigree in ultimate folklore. The first cousin of Daniel Rule. Huge grab. And then the nice backhand out into space. If Caroline wasn't getting that, no one else was. It was a really nice throw. Set up perfectly. Rob also showing some nice composure to actually avoid any kind of contact. He did have Dawson as well as you underneath, but kind of came down, made himself small. Well, made himself small as he could be on the way down. Made himself the size of a regular man. But as we said, yes, 7-5 is the score. Rob, pop on over here, mate. Pull on the cans, have a chat, please. So we're going to have a quick chat to Rob de Hollander.
Oop, over there.
Yeah, there you go. Nice grab, mate. Nice throw. You'd be happy with that?
Yeah, pretty happy actually. Yeah.
Are you a ring in for this team, or are you?
Second year playing for them.
Right, but you're still up north as we
yeah.
watch A-Shep play.
Yeah, so I've now moved into northern New South Wales actually.
Ah, very good.
Left Townsville start of the year and just been working on the highway.
As we watch F-Troop come up, yes, we commented on your grab, not only taking it high, but you actually made yourself nice and small coming down, making sure you didn't take anyone out.
Yeah, try not to hurt people.
Well, you're a suitably sized gent, so I think everyone, all your teammates and opponents appreciate it.
Yeah, VLS very thick, very thick.
You're quite dense, and your good cousin, how's he?
Good. I saw him 2 weekends ago.
Hand block, nice hand block.
Yes, boss.
You'd be enjoying this.
Yes.
As the big man himself, who's this? You call the play, call your teammates,
We got
mate.
Josh Burns, probably looking for a huck. Throws a nice fake quite happily. Back to Josh Burns from Bryce Winchester.
Now
Bryce looking for Ross. Ross. Big bit.
Big bit.
Big grumpy about that.
How is your first cousin?
Good.
Yeah.
He's still living in Melbourne. See him whenever I go to Melbourne, sort of thing, which isn't very often.
Yeah. Has he recruited any more family members into the? Before he had none left.
I think we've got the youngest cousins starting to play frisbee. I think we're gonna try and get another family team to Halibut or something next year, and she might come along and play with us.
If you were making teams based on who Dan Rules recruited, I reckon probably 2/3 of the ultimate community under anyone under probably 35.
I think that's a pretty
directly
safe bet.
attributable to Daniel Rule.
A very safe bet.
Well, Rob, best of luck. You guys have another chance to break here, so I'll get you to call this play and then let you join your team. And can you tell me as we set this up, what's with the spoon? What's with the scooping of the...
I'm just eating scraps.
Eating scraps, right.
That was my scraps, just chasing the high frisbees and chasing scraps.
Right, very good. Nice break. Can't make it happen. All right, Rob, we'll let you get on and cheer your team. Thanks, you, mate. All right. Rob de Hollander there, responsible for that last assist as well as pulling down a nice grab. He has gone to the sideline and has just opened a can of whoop-ass on the sideline verbally to his team, bringing them across, making sure they play tight D on this zone. It'll be F-Troop's third shot, I think, this point at it. So there's a big throw thrown up. Callahan opportunity, but O'Reilly wants to make a call. He had a bite, and then he thinks he wore some contact on his second attempt. Let's have a look. High disc, O'Reilly. He was going up against Ross Smith, I think it was. Got the first bite, then Smith, and then O'Reilly popped out of his hand. The question will be whether there was contact that had impacted his ability on that second bid. And we are saying that there's a contested foul. Sandstrom will get a chance to throw a much better throw. And they're going to have a chat around what the count's on. Going to come in on 6. Cup collapses. And a big Hail Mary. That's excellent by Sandstrom. Huge put. Hits Shea. And then Ben Matthews Hunter, goes, gets a little bit of contact there. Claire Barcham had dropped it. But there was an impact. You can't hit the players. I think there's an uncontested foul coming. There is. Sandstrom, a superb put. And here's the replay. Barcham. But we're bringing something back. We're bringing it back on a contested stall. Well, it's a stall. Don't know if it's contested. It was on the huck. It was on Sandstrom's lovely huck. So, exceptional throw considering the pressure. Was that at least a stall 9, if not 10? So, the count was coming in at 6, and we've got the stopwatch clocking it at 3. So that's probably a little sharp, a little quick, don't you reckon, Mike? Mike agrees with me. Yep. All right, it's going to come in on 8. So we're likely going to see a similar thing. Although O'Reilly is in a good position if he can get the dump off. No, we are going to see a similar thing. Jamon versus Shep. Shep this time in front of it, gets front position, gets the turn. VLS a chance to stick a dagger in. This will be for half. Moves it through. That's Josh Burns, former opener for Australia. Moves it. Bryce Winchester with the disc. Winchester was the mark, calling that stall. Goes to Alex Shepherd. Shep throws a nice flick. It's Burns. Looks wide, gets the wide backhand. Shep with the outside look, and then on the inside didn't want anything on the break. Goes to throw the flick break, but nice work by Shea Jamon to stop both breaks. Can't get the third one, but put enough pressure that meant Shep threw it a little bit too far open side, and now they're going. Sandstrom, they don't want this zone to set because they struggle against it. Unfortunately for them, it sets. James O'Reilly moves it back into Ben. Matthews Hunter, Suzuki, who's played well, gets it right through the cup. The far point was out of position, managed the swing to go across, and now it's Dawson. Throws long, but Shep again, Alex Shepherd. That's his second or third D this point. Moves it. Burns back to Shepherd. Shepherd goes. He unleashes a long flick. And Ross Smith will have a lot of work to do. Garrett grabs it, but he's not in. And he has no help. We might see a timeout. No, we won't. There's one. He's got one opponent. He goes. Sandstrom's marking, but it's a goal. It's caught. Bryce Winchester gets the goal. That's half. A few players from both sides on their knees. A grueling point. That's 8-5. We're going to see half time. So this was FTroop shot into the end zone. Snuffed out by A-Shep. And then on the return, Ross Smith keeps pace to grab it. Does not land in. FTroop did really well to send 2 or 3. You see there 4 offenders before they VLS get their second teammate in there. But the one that they did have was Bryce Winchester. And some good communication with Smith and Winchester. Winchester flayed away to the far side, enabled Smith to just pop a nice floaty outside in throw. He ran onto it. VLS have taken half, 8-5 after FTroop got the jump on them early. We'll leave you with a few highlights from the first half before having a chat with a couple of the players from each team, ideally, before we enter the second half. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back to the second half. FTroop versus VLS, joined by Alex Shepherd. Alex, good first half. You guys started slow, managed to work your way back into it.
Yeah, solid first half. It was a little bit dicey at the start there. They came out with a very good man and then a few zone looks and really slowed us down. Just got a little bit lucky with some floaty discs in the wind and brought it back and converted well.
8-5, what's the plan for the second half?
Just keep the sideline loud and try to play a really nice, safe offense.
Excellent. All right, mate. Good luck. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
We'll catch you later. Oh, geez, a pull almost took out Emma Lothian's head. But VLS managed to regain. They come back in. Rob to Hollander, the large man. Goes with a flick to Lothian. It bobbles off her hand, but it's eaten up by FTroop. So FTroop with a chance to keep things close early. High count coming up, but gets it back. Now Dan Matthews-Hunter went, but Tom McCallum was coming under. So it went to no one. So you'll see there was a zig when he should have zagged. Tom McCallum had already come under by the time Dan Matthews-Hunter threw that disc. Haven't seen much from Dan this morning. I don't think he's played many points. Deep stack from VLS. They're too deep. Everything should be marked under. Looks at the dump. Tom McCallum, a good dump mark. So now left posted. Manages to get one out. Hollander chops him out big time over towards the break side. Then looks at a flick, but the flick's D'd again. Caitlin Grange. I think that's her second D this point. I think she was responsible for the first one. And now FTroop set up there, stacked the way that VLS should have, not too deep. Dan Matthews-Hunter gets the nice first initiating cut. But unfortunately can't be converted for a goal. Hannah Mangan. Turn there. VLS coming up to the line. He brought in. That's Rory Brennan. It is with the gloves. Moves it early. Gets it over to Josh Burns. Burns. FTroop doing really well with their match coverage downfield, making it really hard. Emma Lothian comes free. Gets it in. Looks to Jack. Thinks better of it, but she throws it straight to Tom McCallum. Tom McCallum's got it. He goes to the backhand to Dan Matthews-Hunter. Matthews-Hunter punches it back to Laura Emerson. Matthews-Hunter working well, but really nice dump mark. Emerson goes to the Hail Mary to Dave McManus. He's going to grab it. That's the start FTroop wanted. Emma Lothian did Tom McCallum a big favour by throwing the disc straight at him. And despite a few nervous moments from Laura Emerson, getting the count a little high, ending up going with a bailout Hail Mary, Dave McManus grabs it. So Emma just probably slipped out a bit, threw it straight in Tom's breadbasket. Moved back, and then to Emerson. So 1, 2. Yeah, you'd see about it's probably a stall 8 throw, that one. But Caroline Thomas, feeling the pressure, decided to jump around and try and block wherever they were throwing, which meant downfield was probably a bit easier. So Emerson looked. So it started as an away, then a home, and she's jumping around, then opens up, she bites, leaves everything downfield free. Dave McManus with the nice goal. Max, you got 30 seconds, or you? So we're going to really quickly be joined by an Alta TV favourite, Max Halden. Max, I know there's not much you can tell us about this game because you're playing another game. What's going on in your game?
Over on the other field, it's Hello Newman versus Frisky. We're currently up 2 points, 8-6. We're just about to start again from half-time.
Excellent. Any highlights?
Look, there's been an amazing layout D from Laura Minescu. Expect absolutely nothing less, of course. And a little bit of, inter-team history as well, because she would have played on Hello Newman last year when they were double wide. So thanks for having me on the mic. Get back to the action.
Thanks, Max. All right, we've got Alex Shepherd now. Advances to halfway. Tom McCallum marking him. That's a great matchup. Giordana Rock getting marked by Emerson. Giordana goes and shoots a laser, but that is well out of here. And FTroop going to get another look. So, if FTroop score here, it will make things interesting, won't it, Caroline Thomas? Caroline hopes it won't. Caroline confident in her VLS teammates to get the D. All right. Tom McCallum coming up. The matchup's changed. Alex Shepherd wants someone else downfield. He's taken Foreman. Good initial defense from VLS. Forces. What's his name again? Tom McCallum. Known him for 3 years. Tom McCallum had to dump. It's Emerson with the disc. There's a pick downfield. Answers it. Tom goes up the line. Lovely cut from Tom. And Foreman's off, and Foreman's gone. A-Shep's going to have to chase him. Foreman's got the sun to deal with. A-Shep goes up. A little bit of contact, but nothing in it. Nice work from A-Shep. Good D. There's a call on the throw. And it's Linus and Tom McCallum. McCallum thinks he wore a little bit of contact through on the flick. On the backhand, sorry. He's a lefty. McCallum waves it away after a chat with Linus. And VLS. Caroline Thomas's prediction was true. They'll get it back. And I'm not sure what's going on here. They're not in any great hurry. They're trying to work out where it's gone out. It is at the cone. So Linus being marked by Tom. Away force. Moves it. Giordana Rock gets the nice break outside. Hits Becky Burns. Now to A-Shep. Alex Shepherd holds it. Gets the flick to Linus. Bit more of a straight up on Linus. But it's dropped. Ashley O'Sullivan just lost a little bit of focus. And Tom McCallum will come in. Early cut. Nice early cut by, no idea who that is, but it didn't come off. Not on the team sheet. That gent. So 6-8. It's a huge point in the context of the game. 5-9 versus 7-8. Very different propositions. Giordana Rock will once again pick it up. Shep comes in, open under, Foreman trailing. Alex Shepherd on the sideline in the flick position. Wants the flick, then throws the flick bomb. He's going to hit O'Sullivan, but there's a D. I think it's Kyle Mitchell just wearing a different number, but we'll find out. Excuse me, FTroop. Who's that? Yeah, it is Kyle Mitchell. It's Kyle Mitchell wearing a different shirt. Kyle Mitchell. Unique looking unit. Oh, a Callahan bid there from Linus, but Tom made sure of it. Out to Mitchell. To Tom. And then Tom wants the backhand. Elects not to do it. Well, it goes to hit under, but there's a lot of congestion. Gets it through. Hannah keeps it going. And there's a call. We're coming back in on 2.5. Hannah Mangan Tom's gone. He's got a lot of separation. Linus marking him well under. Real congestion around the disc. Kyle Mitchell gets it across. Now with Emerson, Laura Emerson. Tom goes up the line, but sees it's just traffic. Congestion upfield. Tom's going up, but he's not looking, and Shelley McCarthy had already cut under. So depending on where it is in the count, if it's low in the count, the cutters have the space. But as soon as it gets past anything past 4, the cutters should really know, clear out to give that space to the dump so they can elect to either go up the line or try and grab it as laterally as possible. That said, Tom, as the dump, needs to look and make sure the line's clear. So he does so now, and he gets it. Gets up the line, and now a high pie. Again, A-Shep's under it, but misreads it, and it's a grab. It's a goal by Shelley. Shelley McCarthy takes the goal after the A-Shep misread. A-Shep had the right sit, but ran under it a bit. Misread it. Yeah, he did have 2 F-Troop females to deal with, but elected to go early, as you probably would. You don't mind that. So we'll take a look at the D. Nice D from Kyle Mitchell, getting early in position over O'Sullivan. And then Tom, to be fair, that's a pie. You can see A-Shep tracking it. It just runs under it a bit and flies away from him at the last moment. Then Suzuki can't get it, but Shelley Mitchell certainly can. Sorry, Shelley McCarthy certainly can. So is Caitlin Grange under it, gets a little bit on it, and then Caitlin Grange, I'll get these names right shortly. Caitlin Grange grabs the goal.
That's the end of the VLS. Here we go.
Great second chance bid. Around the grounds, it's 7-8. Frisky leading Hello Newman. Hello Newman. Frisky with the disc and looking to create a score. There's a pie up. It's Callum on Loco. And a simultaneous grab, wouldn't you believe it? I think Loco's going to give it. It was simultaneous. It's a goal. So 9-7 over on Hello Newman versus Frisky. Frisky with the lead. Most games trading or within a couple of points. 7-8 over on Funsky versus CAF. As we watch F-Troop with VLS. Nice pull. VLS wanting nothing to do with it. So we're going to have a look at last point. There was a pick call. So this was Hannah's turn. The pick happened and the throw had just about gone out. And certainly the pick wasn't involved in the play. So time over again, and having seen that, Hannah might just say, look, yeah, there's probably always going to be a turn. F-Troop, there's a collision, but Rob de Hollander has gone in this time. He wasn't able to avoid contact on that occasion. And he's taken out his own teammate, who's a little bit worried about her knee. So we'll see Blady throw. And right, a clash of knees. I think that's Annie Longley. She's going to hop off. She's pretty sore. So we were complimenting Rob de Hollander on his ability to avoid contact, and next minute goes and takes someone out leading with the legs. All right, Rob did catch a disc, so taps it back in after the injury. Rob gets it. The count's high now, and now he has to jack it. He has to send it. Tom McCullum, he bobbles it, but then he grabs it. Nervous moment for McCullum. Very composed flick to Shelley McCarthy. Shelley gets it to Suzuki. Suzuki turns ground to Tom, who jacks it. And that's to Matthews Hunter. That is Dan. Gets over right into the corner. That's Abby Dawson. Back to Tom. Tom looks wide, shows a little bit of air to it. But Dan Matthews Hunter, nice bid, but he's dropped it. Thought he held that one. So it was Mangan, I think, was involved in that. Not Dawson, apologies, Hannah. Bid, grabbed, ground stripped. That's a heartbreaker. The VLS coming in from the cone. FTroop have tightened up their match defense. The one-on-one defense is a lot harder. They're having a much better time of it than they were with the zone. Hail Mary bailout throw, successful on that attempt. Emma Lothian sits in the zone position, the dump position, gets out of it. And another turn. And Tom McCullum's off, but none of his teammates want to give it to him. Maya Suzuki picks up, moves it over. Matthews Hunter back to Suzuki, goes the throw and go, gets it back. But there's nothing happening in the stack. He's got no cuts to throw to. Mangan wears a little bit of attention, calls the foul. So really nice handler movement, but downfield, FTroop aren't providing cuts to support him. A little bit late on that contact foul. Dave McManus gets up high, nice work. Then looks at the backhand, goes instead with the flick to Dan Matthews Hunter. Matthews Hunter hits Foreman. Foreman now to Suzuki. Suzuki managing to get free, so VLS sitting off a little bit worried of the deep strike. Hannah Mangan with the disc, and there's a pick called. So FTroop collapsed into the vert. Starting to get a little bit more by way of cutting, but still it is a little bit light on. It's the same people doing it. It's Suzuki, it's Mangan. We got Tom McCallum back, both. Mangan looks for the goal to Matthews Hunter, but it's a turn. Does a little angry dance. Just didn't get it in front of the bucket hat. Audible call on the field from the sideline of VLS. They've gone from a vert to a horo. That's a horizontal stack. Burns fakes the big backhand. Count getting high. Mangan's going to get in amongst it, but couldn't get it. Saw the opportunity, saw where the thrower was throwing. And now McManus has a chance. Can't bid. VLS chancing their hands. That's Ross Smith with the grab. Now back to Emma Lothian. Emma Lothian, big breaking flick. And it was good, but it was a pick. So it was a pick. The pick wasn't on Tom McCallum, so he's not going to advance. It's Rob de Hollander. Rob de Hollander looks the backhand, elects not to throw it. To Lothian now. Lothian looks backhand, looks flick. Goes to the flick, but Matthews Hunter was hunting a block. No poon intended. And instead, Lothian goes with a flick onto the away side, but there's an injury called. Injury called by Josh Burns. Let's hope he's okay for the Ashes test. Lol jokes, he won't be featuring. And the sub will be Alex Casella coming on, and we're going to see a change on the FTroop side as well. Shelley McCarthy coming off, Laura Emerson replacing her. And it looks like a hip flex or maybe a hammy from Josh Burns. He's stayed down. All right, this tapped in by Alex Casella. So, nice stack positioning. It's a vert. Tom McCallum with the disc, throws a lovely around throw, but it's going to be a little bit of a, there's a call, there'll be a foul called. A little bit of a sky ball. Suzuki got taken out unintentionally by Lothian, but the foreman has grabbed it, so it'll stay with him. I don't think that affected the play at all. We're going to tell the advisor, thank you, all G in the H. To Hollander being marked by Foreman. And the wind's kicked up, worth noting. Tom McCallum, wide backhand stance. Gets a little bit of attention, gets it to Suzuki, but that wind had an impact. The wind's just kicked right up from nowhere, so Casella going to the disc. McCallum going to mark him, and it looks like they will go back into the whole row. So VLS continuing to play 3 back to Hollander. Goes inside. Suzuki. So Lothian goes. Lothian continues the upper line and gets on it, and then Lothian puts a sky ball up. De Hollander versus Foreman. De Hollander is a large man. Grabs it just outside the end zone. Looks to Casella. Casella gets call on a travel from Tom. Lothian goes up the line, can't get it. Well blocked by Suzuki. Then a D by Emerson. Really nice work, but I think there's going to be a call. Waved away, correctly so. Solid work. The wind has kicked up from nowhere. 8-7. And the game's changed. Mangan can't complete the pass from Matthews Hunter. That's Dan. And Casella eventually makes his way towards the disc and now arrives at the disc. Lothian again goes up the line, but this time Suzuki prevents it. And now it's a bit of a bail line stall out and Rob to Hollander. Oh, boots it. Gives it an old drop punt. Eating up scraps. It was a bailout throw. Timeout's been called. Nice grab by Rob. Boom. Drills it from 50. Noticing the disc kick becoming much more prevalent. I'm not sure if I'm bored with it yet, but that's the way it's going. So we'll have a couple of highlights whilst the timeout is held by both teams. 9-7 is the score. FTroop have done well to bring it back, but VLS maintain a little bit of separation. We'll be back in a moment. All right, so coming out of the timeout, VLS leading FTroop 9-7, joined by Dave McManus, just as we watch VLS take the line. Dave, a couple points down. You guys have been in this position, I think, before in this tournament. What's the message?
Yeah, no, we're going well. We came out really hard and got a break, which we're happy with. It's been a bit of a game of runs so far, so they got a few on us before half, and then we've come out pretty strong. But hopefully we can get another couple to make it a really tight game.
Noticing that your man zone, your one-on-one coverage having much better results than your zone. Is that shared by you guys?
Yeah, we were trying the containment when they were going downwind to try and stop some of their deeper options. They were sort of just like completing their offenses in a few passes, so we thought we'd try and do that to slow them down, but they sort of got through it pretty easily, and now we're back on man, getting a lot more turns. Almost a break there on that last point, unfortunately.
Yeah, you've
we
come
couldn't close it out.
very close a couple of times so far. Finally, before we let you go and support your team, the wind. It's kicked right up from nowhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's turned into a bit of an upwind, downwind game. It's still low enough that we can sort of play clean ultimate, sort of a bit of a thrower's breeze. But yeah, it's definitely made it a bit interesting.
A thrower's breeze. I haven't heard that one before. All right, well, you know this team. Why don't you call your offense, and if they turn it, we'll take it over. I'll take it over then.
Oh, yeah, sorry, no, I didn't realise that was a question.
All right, well, thank you, mate. All the best for the rest of the game. Hope we can see a close one.
Yeah, should be good.
All right,
thanks.
Cheers. All right, as we're having a chat, the score was gold. Goal was scored by VLS. Jumped out to a 10-7 lead. Probably not what Tom wanted, but again, there's a lot of game to play still, and we still see FTroop jogging towards the line, so they're still up and about. But it is a break. (10-7) is the score. Around the grounds, I believe it's 7-11 to both Funskies in their respective games. So there's, Friskies. So there's Funsky versus CAF. I think that scores 7-11. And Frisky. That is easy for me, guys. Frisky versus Hello Newman at 7-11 also. On the far field, it looks at 11-9 to Meraki over Monstars. So just having a look at that in-out call. Shep did want to turn around. He didn't know if he was in or out. He spoke to his teams and the advisors. They said it was good. Mike here on the cam agrees. Frisky have scored behind my back over Hello Newman at 7-12. And we've got a pull coming up in this game, 10-7. FTroop need to put this one in to keep in touch. Max Stenstrom's going to pick it up, and it's match coverage from from VLS. Looks inside, hits Shea. And to Matthews Hunter, that's Ben Matthews Hunter. To Liz Eadie, dumps it back to Stenstrom. He doesn't Stenstrom it. Couple of haven't used that one before. Matthews Hunter over to Suzuki. Suzuki wants to dish. Elects not to. Goes downfield instead. Nice inside out break to Edie. Edie goes to Rambo, but Rambo threw before a pick, so he'll get it back. It was Shea that he was shooting to, but by that point the pick had already been well called, so this one coming back, and rightly so. Really nice inside flick to the break side, just in the Edie there, standing in the stack. And that was where the pick was. So Ben Matthews Hunter's going to have it. To Suzuki. Suzuki hits Shea. He's right on the end zone line. To Sandstrom, but can't connect it. The win, again, challenging the teams. So Linus looks for the around and then has to punt, a flick, hit and hope, but it's completed. Matthew Visor, he sits one up, but again, now Brennan can take it, and then Brennan sends one. It's a backhand coming in with heat. It's going to have to be a great grab. Unfortunately, can't be. And there might be a chat. Ooh. A challenging catch. Might have the advisors involved here. Anson's going to tell them what he sees, if he's required. And going to let the players work it out first before Anson gets involved. Anson Chum, the game advisor, on our close side. So I'll use my NLP degree I found in a cereal box to suggest that the VLS player felt that they were impacted from the back, which affected their bid. I don't know if we'll be able to get a look at the replay of it. Certainly on first glance, it didn't seem like too much, but given it was such a challenging catch, yeah, there's a little bit of contact there. You can see Suzuki's hand just on the back, more to protect both players than anything, but if that did affect her ability to make a bid, she's within her rights to call it. So now Anson is giving his view. Again, the advisor's call is not binding. They will just tell them what they saw from an impartial perspective. So another look at the replay. Challenging catch. Don't know if she would have been able to make a play on the disc had that contact not been there. I think it's one of those situations where there's contact. I think that both players acknowledge there's contact, but is that a did that affect the impact? Sorry, affect their bid on the disc? And it's going back. So Brennan will get a chance once again. Hopefully it's a lot better than his first effort. And VLS in reasonably good shape with the exception of 2 dumps being back. So one will have to clear out, which they do. And that brings it back to Linus. Linus being marked by Sandstrom. Linus pumps and then shoots. Challenging grab, but it's taken by Winchester. Winchester moves it through to Linus. Linus gets the inside break. That's Kirsty Murray. Kirsty Murray sits in the flick position, then moves around for more flicks. Has to go another high one, but it's Winchester. Can't grab it. A little bit of contact, but this time it's acknowledged that it's not enough impact. Edie was deep, but by the time Rambo picked up the disc, the cut was too far gone. O'Reilly to Shea. Suzuki made an excellent cut, but was cut off by her teammates. Sandstrom. Suzuki still free. Has it. Not too much of a mark, which comes now. Ben Matthews-Hunter. Nice dump. Around. Really disciplined stuff. O'Reilly. He goes and he punts it long. He's gone to Shea on Winchester. This is going to turn over. Winchester has a bid, but Shea manages to get the scraps. Stay down in the forward pocket. Wirrapunda, Milne, like the great ones before him. Just stayed down, got the scraps. Who's your favourite forward pocket, Mike? I'll tell the fans. Eddie Betts isn't a bad one. O'Reilly. So Winchester hit it back into it was Shea's hands. FTroop needed that. That's what they wanted. 10-8. They stay in touch. Sorry guys, just eating a Tim Tam. Double coat, delicious. Hot tip for Tim Tam fans out there, the Tim Tam double coat costs the exact same price as the Tim Tam original. So if you're someone that buys the Tim Tam originals, you're not welcome in my house and I'll be pretty suspect about you as a human. The double coat is the business, that's where it's at. FTroop know where it's at. They're making the charge. They get this break. It's 10-9 and we got a game. Tom McCallum on the field. Lefty backhand pull is reasonable in these conditions. As I said, the wind has kicked up. O'Sullivan with the bright gear picks up, fakes the flick. It's a horror play and A-Shep is the first one to grab it and then he goes and he jacks a flick and it's got genuine pace. It past Casella. Out of the hand, that didn't look like anyone's going to grab it. Casella made his best efforts. And he's signifying a home force. There's a vert stack being set. And Tom McCallum looking to be the first cut, goes wide, and there is a hand block. Casella, hand block on McManus. McManus tried to get the break backhand to Tom. Couldn't get it. FTroop going to get another, VLS going to get another shot. Sullivan hits Shep once again. VLS maintain separation, 8-11. Meanwhile, the other game, Frisky have opened up a suitable gap after trading much of the first half with Hello Newman. They lead 14-8. So game point on that match. Hello Newman, as it would probably be expected given their roster, found the second half pretty challenging from a legs perspective. Not over yet. You imagine it won't take too much more. All right. So let's take another look at the hand block from Casella. Nice, hand block anticipated it. Sorry, I thought I was away from the mic there. I've been advised that I might not have been. Apologies out there. As we look at the goal, A-Shep running the set play. You can tell the teams that train together because they have set plays and they work. VLS one of those teams. Wind really starting to kick up now. Starting to lose a few chairs. Mike holding on to one of the tents for in the production house for dear life. Just battening down the hatches here, bear with us. The direction of the wind is right to left, but also it's probably a bit diagonal. So it's coming from over the camera, so away from where you're viewing. VLS pulling from the far side. Dis is going to fight that wind and drop. And Ben Matthews Hunter with the disc. It moves it straight, nice. Big gainer to Edie, that's a good gainer. Edie in on the sideline, wants to get it off. Matthews Hunter goes up the line, O'Reilly comes back. O'Reilly doesn't have a dump, but manages to hit Suzuki, but unfortunately the disc just slipped out of her hand. Wynn took it, she didn't have a chance to have a second bid. Time cap's gone up, as has the disc. Rob Delander, big bid from a big man, but can't get it. Shea picks it up, goes to Edie. Edie, safest hands on the team. Moves it back, Sandstrom has lost his hat. Goes the inside break flick, gets it. That's a goal to FTroop. That's Abby Dawson with the goal. As the apocalypse opens up on Tasmania, everything blowing away. So, siren went that point. It's 8-11, I believe 9-11. I believe we've got a game to 12. And there's a timeout called. So, we will just clarify that it is a game to 12, though, but we believe it is. We'll have a quick chat to the game advisors. Anson, you got 1 minute? Can you just talk us through what it's to? Have you got a second, or do you have to? So what's the game to? 12?
Playing out the point first.
That was the score, wasn't it?
Yes, but the timeout went after, I think, wasn't it?
So time cap went?
Time cap
then they
went
scored?
during the point, right?
Yeah, no, during the point.
Before the score. Oh, before the score? Okay, cool. Then it's game to
12.
12.
And any rules around timeouts or not?
They're having a timeout now, and then that's it.
No more timeouts?
Yep.
So we've had a chat to Anson. I think we probably told Anson more than he told us. But what he did tell us was that we've got a timeout now. It is a game to 12, and there'll be no more timeouts after this. So, the wind has kicked up a lot more than it was at the start of the game. Frisky going through to the semi-final, having taken the game 15-8 over Hello Newman. Hello Newman will be a little bit disappointed. They managed to trade, I think it was 8-7 at half. So only putting on 1 point in the second half. That said, Combination of that wind kicking up and them having, I think, 1 female sub and 2 male subs. Had an impact. Very hard to run out a game with those kinds of numbers. Game to 12. If FTroop can put this one in, this is the upwinder. This is where it becomes very interesting.
Go VLS!
Because they'll back themselves in to take the next one, and then it comes down to double game point where anything can happen. The upwind break is far from a fait accompli. And that's what FTroop will need to do. Pull goes up. It's a roller. It's going to roll out. Shep does very well. They're the 1%ers that you just don't see represented on the stat sheet. Shep did really well to keep it in, get the quick play, which is not what FTroop wanted. Tom McCullum marks Shep. Now comes back Kirsty Murray. Kirsty Murray moves it to A-Shep. She wanted to give go. A-Shep said no. Then A-Shep looked at the flick. It was a little high, but Casella got it. Casella at halfway now. Has no dump. He's been left posted. Comes around. Kirsty Murray does really well. Comes back. She now has no dump. So unless they're doing this deliberately, no, they're not, because Kirsty Murray now, but it's Shep with the goal. He throws to Casella. He's coming in with heat. VLS do it. They get the downwind. They execute in a pretty frantic last point. Credit to FTroop. They continued to bring it. They started strong. They fell behind, but then they started to grind back. Alex Shepherd to Casella. The old headbutt. We've seen kicks, we've seen headbutts, we've seen jump shots. Pretty much every celebration with a frisbee except throwing it. Quite a good quarter-final. FTroop will be disappointed. But VLS maintained control for most of the game after getting jumped. So VLS will head through. Frisky will head through, having beaten Hello Newman 15-8. We don't have the other scores for you at the moment. We're going to try and get a look. It looks like it's 14-10 Funsky on CAF. And it's game point in the Meraki game, but we're just going to check and see if we can get a score. Meraki versus Monstars in that quarter. It may be Meraki. 14-10, we believe that's to Meraki. We think that's to Meraki, so possibly accurate, possibly fake news. We'll find out in a moment. But that's where we'll leave the action. We've got a semi-final coming up in the next time slot, which is at 11 o'clock, I believe. It is 11 o'clock before the final, which will be at 3 p.m. So stay tuned. It looks like we're going to have some good teams in the finals, which is what we want. Unfortunately, we do have the 2 Friskies, so if we see a Frisky-Funsky final, it'll be challenging conditions to commentate. We'll do our best. Until then, we'll see you at 11 o'clock for the semi-final.
can't look you in the face. I don't wanna have to lie. I wanted this love to survive. Now when I look in your I feel paralyzed.